What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about Cold War going free to play, some wild new updates about Call of Duty exclusivity, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and be sure to check out Detonated with a special link down below in this video's description. Got plenty of new articles going up over on the website, and also an amazing amount of tweets over on Twitter with some hot takes, live coverage of what's going on with every single game mode, plus even more. Detonated is, of course, an expansion to all the coverage you see here on this channel for every single Call of Duty, and of course, every single game mode. But in the background, enjoy some nice throwback Cold War gameplay on one of my favorite maps that released during the DLC season, which is of course the program. Earlier today I posted another video going over a brand new Ghost Tracer pack which released inside of Modern Warfare 2. That review is linked down below in this video's description. But as a huge reminder, and as confirmed by the COD Updates Twitter, Cold War is now safe to play on all platforms. A couple of weeks ago, a security update did go live for every platform that has Black Ops Cold War, and it apparently fixed the unfortunate exploit allowing others out there to actually rip your IP and actually go ahead and tamper with your PC. It was affecting people's games, it was crashing folks. It was a really unfortunate exploit that apparently was because of one single person or a group of folks that Activision has singled out, and Activision apparently has sent a cease and desist to those individuals that were responsible for affecting Black Ops Cold War. As of right now, there's no evidence to suggest that whatever was going on with Cold War was also affecting Modern Warfare 2 or even Warzone, but I'll keep you guys posted with anything else going on with security issues inside of Call of Duty. Now, as of today, it was confirmed that as a part of the free games of PS Plus for July, Black Ops Cold War is going free to play. If you look at the PS Plus Essential tier, it's of course one of 3 PS Plus tiers that you can choose from. You can gain access to the cross-gen edition of Cold War absolutely free beginning on July 4th. So for those out there that aren't going out for the 4th, you can download Cold War free to play on your PS4 or PS5, and you have the entirety of July to go ahead and download Cold War while it's free to play. If you miss out on that window, you'll no longer be able to download Cold War free to play at all. And as for huge clarification for those out there that are new to this kind of system, if you guys out there never downloaded games free to play before through PS Plus, the way it works is simple. If you manage to download it for free during the window in which it's free, you can keep it forever. I think if you even delete it off of your platform after downloading it for free, it'll always be in your library, so you can go ahead and re-download it at any time in case you guys are out of storage. But no, I'm not kidding. You can have Cold War permanently downloaded on your PS4 or PS5 if you manage to download it during the month of July. The game, of course, comes with a fantastic campaign, a really memorable and replayable multiplayer, and a fantastic zombies experience featuring 4 round-based maps, the sandbox outbreak mode, onslaught allowing you to play round-based or some type of survival on multiplayer maps, plus a slew of other LTMs. I'm a big Fireteam fanboy, as you guys have seen plenty of footage of in the background of many of my previous Black Ops videos, so the player count across all modes is bound to increase. You'll be able to play likely anything you want once the game does go fully free to play. I'm also addicted to dropping nukes in that game because it's kind of unique that it's the first Black Ops game featuring a nuke that you can actually call in after getting 30 consecutive kills. I love playing Cold War. I enjoyed covering it during its little year 2 where they added in more bundles, more maps, weapons, and some other LTMs. It was a blast. Don't forget that Cold War is essentially the last classic Call of Duty that we're going to have for quite some time. Unless Modern Warfare 3 brings things back to the Call of Duty roots a little bit in terms of some of those classic mechanics that we're accustomed to in multiplayer, then Cold War is likely going to be the last classic COD for a while. And another thing is that the next Black Ops game is on the Modern Warfare engine. Hopefully the game still has its own identity. It doesn't just feel like you're playing Modern Warfare with the Black Ops name attached to it. Then Cold War is essentially the last Call of Duty on its own engine, right? I think it's a modified version of the Black Ops 3 one or the Black Ops 4 one, just about the same. It's not at all using the Modern Warfare engine. So it's likely the last Call of Duty we're ever going to see that's not on the same engine as the current iteration of Warzone. But I think right now in terms of content, it's hard to judge between Cold War and Modern Warfare 2 for the best COD in the last couple of years. You guys can say what you want about MW2, but the game offers a lot in terms of variety, and I love variety. I love playing different game modes inside of one COD and covering all of them here on the channel. Cold War also offers a lot, which I had a blast covering for the years that I did. But with that being said, a part of this PS Plus deal is that you also get the free Captain Price skin upon downloading Cold War in the month of July, and I know it's marketed that you get the Captain Price skin inside of Warzone Caldera. Yeah, you could use them inside of Warzone Caldera until Warzone Caldera shuts down this September, but it's also an operator skin that you can gain access to and use inside of Cold War multiplayer and even Cold War Zombies. It's a young looking Captain Price skin, which doesn't really make much sense in terms of the canon because he wouldn't have looked like that in the 80s or 90s, but I made a separate video a couple of years ago talking about how some intel inside of Cold War, which continuously crosses over Black Ops and Modern Warfare, does reference an operation called Operation Charybdis, and that's something that was referenced back during Black Ops 1, in which it was claimed that somebody named Jonathan Price, who I believe is Captain Price's father, played a role in that operation. So we can easily speculate that, yeah, the Captain Price you play as in Cold War is actually Price's father. I'm gonna stick with that, even though it's just headcanon. It just makes more sense if you want to tie everything together with the bow tie, because again, the new Modern Warfare games are fully canon with the Black Ops series. Now tonight's video is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured and don't know where to start, you can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without ever having to leave the couch. Submitting a claim for an injury doesn't have to be a stuffy process. With Morgan & Morgan, there's no need for you to visit law offices and sit through timely consultations. You can submit a claim and have a lawyer review your case with only 8 clicks from your mobile app. Now, Morgan & Morgan is a 21st century law firm which has modernized the injury law process, making it so easy to submit your claim. You can submit your case details, sign contracts, upload documents, and medical records all from your cell phone. You can even text your attorney and legal team throughout the duration of your case. Submitting an injury claim after a car accident is a no-brainer. You have nothing to lose, and a firm like Morgan & Morgan can quickly determine if you even have a case. Don't overthink it though. Take action to protect your rights, and Morgan & Morgan will fight to get the compensation that you deserve. But with that being said, check out Morgan & Morgan with the special link down below in this video's description or the pinned comment, and thank you to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring tonight's video. Now, as I covered in a previous video, but I want to reiterate again here in this one, is that Ralph's Valve over on Twitter, who hasn't really reported on anything in quite some time, did tease Operation Desert Storm, which apparently is going to be playing a role in the next Black Ops game, which is going to be focusing on the 90s, the Gulf War, the Iraq War. So him tweeting this out was really interesting timing-wise, because we don't really know anything right now about Modern Warfare 3, but he's already teasing something about Black Ops 2024. Now, as I've always said with any videos pertaining to info that comes from Ralph's Valve, Ghost of Cope, or anybody else that's a quote-unquote insider in the community, gotta be careful with what you believe, right? They've gotten things right in the past. They've also gotten a lot of things wrong in the past. So take everything with a grain of salt. Don't take anything for certain, and just take the information as you may, as just entertainment, right? While we wait for new marketing on a future Call of Duty installment. Figured I'd go over this real quickly for those out there that were interested. But again, Ralph hasn't said anything in many months, probably because he got multiple things in a row wrong for Modern Warfare 2. So he hasn't really said much. But hey, maybe he's got some info about Black Ops 2024 that you might see posted over on Twitter. I know we're about a year away from actual marketing for the next Black Ops game, but hey, we'll see how the reception goes for Modern Warfare 3. If the game doesn't go well or doesn't sell well or get received well by the community, don't be surprised to see early marketing for Treyarch's next title if they're ready to showcase it. But while this video has a focus on PS Plus, being able to play Cold War for free, I also want to go over this breaking news which dropped earlier today, which is that a court document from Sony, which was not redacted properly and has since been deleted by the court, revealed that the PlayStation Call of Duty deal expires in 2024, but it does not include Call of Duty 2024, which is the next Black Ops game. Sony's partnership apparently ends with Call of Duty 2023, aka Modern Warfare 3. The last game covered by the contract is the Call of Duty, which is releasing this fall in late 2023 via The Verge. So with that in mind, right, we previously were under the assumption that the next Black Ops game will be the last title to have any type of exclusivity from Sony, and again, doesn't mean that they can't end up extending the contract after this fall, because they could end up doing that to where we end up seeing another Onslaught scenario in the next Black Ops where an entire mode is locked behind PS4 and PS5 ownership for an entire year, and then we don't see that content on Xbox and PC until the next COD comes out. We could see that again. It's totally possible, but let's see how the deal gets received this fall, right, with Modern Warfare 3. Maybe they do something very light with what's exclusive in the game, and then after that, the deal just evaporates, and because of the impending Microsoft acquisition, they just say, you know what, let's evaporate that entire exclusivity contract and just move on to something different. Maybe they start doing something completely different that we just didn't know about before or didn't expect in terms of exclusivity, and it eliminates the whole argument about needing to own a certain platform to gain access to certain content. Now, I do love the fact that Modern Warfare 2 doesn't really have any quote-unquote exclusivity. Aside from the PS Plus combat packs or the early XP periods, there's nothing in the game that is locked behind exclusivity. Could you imagine if the raids or some Spec Ops missions or something out there was locked behind PlayStation exclusivity? That wouldn't get received well. I mean, Onslaught was such a good mode, and people out there had to wait an entire year to play it if they were Xbox and PC. I mean, if anything, if I had to choose what to lock behind exclusivity for Modern Warfare 2, I'd go with the Spec Ops missions, which are probably the content that are played the least inside of the game. At least it's not the full raid or, you know, DMZ or anything else too crazy. But if I had it my way completely, I'd say let's have no exclusivity whatsoever and have all platforms gain access to all content at once. Xbox had it for many years, PlayStation has had it for even longer, and people out there are getting frustrated with it, but I'd say as long as you keep the deal limited to just the simple things that we have in MW2, like again, PS Plus combat packs, XP periods, extra creative class slots, or whatever, then it's fine, right? If they have to have a deal and you have to choose something to lock behind exclusivity, that's the best route to go with. But a full-fledged game mode with good content that gets updated every season, let's not have that again. But we saw Survival locked behind exclusivity inside of Modern Warfare 19, and Survival was a pretty iconic game mode that first came out with Modern Warfare 3 2011, with Sledgehammer also co-developed. So How would you guys feel if Survival inside of MW3 was also locked behind exclusivity once again because of how popular it was over a decade ago, and it's Sledgehammer's new Call of Duty again that just happens to be called Modern Warfare 3. But tomorrow's apparently the final day with some more closing arguments for the upcoming acquisition of Activision. I might make a separate video recapping everything just again for you guys that are interested in the topic. I've made a couple of videos like that in the past, which you guys really seem to enjoy. Just a huge roundup of everything that's happened with the situation as of the last couple of months. Might make a separate video about that. But in terms of a summary for Bobby Kotick's testimony, as of earlier today, again, this is the current Activision Blizzard CEO, he mentioned that Warzone Mobile was supposed to launch earlier but got delayed to this fall. I really wonder why. Call of Duty has 100 million monthly active users, with number one being mobile, then PC, then consoles. Only with the right price, Kotick will consider Call of Duty on day and date subscription services, and he feels like he made a mistake not launching on Nintendo Switch. Microsoft did not consult Activision, however, about the 10-year Nintendo deal. Work has not yet started on that, and COD on PlayStation has 2 times the amount of revenue earned compared to Xbox. But then going even further, in 2021, which was Cold War's prime, over 1 million PlayStation players only played COD on their PlayStation and nothing else. 6 million PS gamers spent 70% of their time only playing Call of Duty. Like, damn, that's a dominant player base right there. Call of Duty also generated 800 million in revenue for PlayStation in the US only in 2021, 1.5 billion in revenue for worldwide. Modern Warfare 2 sold 4.4 million units in its first week on PlayStation platforms, and then on top of that, the unredacted Sony document also says Microsoft has signed day one Xbox Game Pass deals for games that block the same game from releasing on competing subscription services. But lastly, we have a quote here: "It makes no economic sense or no strategic sense in terms of removing Call of Duty from PlayStation." He says he 100% commits to keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. That's of course coming from a Microsoft representative. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the awesome update in regards to Black Ops Cold War, one of my favorite Call of Duty installments to date? You can get it for free on PS4 or PS5 with a PS Plus subscription throughout the entire month of July, and you can keep it permanently on your platforms as long as you want, as long as you download it during the free launch window. Also, your thoughts on the security issues that apparently got resolved and everything else we discussed about exclusivity. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.